I still remember playing him in 2014 and playing the Houston Texans, and Lane Johnson, look at him at one point, he looks like he's like seeing a ghost. And I'm like, hey Lane, you all right? And he's like, man, it feels like I'm just in the middle of the ocean, and there's a big great white circling me with a big 99 jersey on.
In 2012, J.J. Watt recorded 20.5 sacks, 69 tackles, 16 passes defensed, 4 forced fumbles, and scored 3 touchdowns. As a defensive lineman, he won Defensive Player of the Year, then he did it again in 2014, and again in 2015. 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards in 4 years.
All I know is, you mess with me, you got problems. That's all I know. There we go. We got him some help, all right. This is football. This is football! Welcome to the big leagues!
For a 5-year stretch, J.J. Watt was the most dominant defensive player the NFL had ever seen. Offensive linemen couldn't stop him, quarterbacks feared him, and nobody, absolutely nobody, could block him.
Every time we played you, we use the term game wrecker. We can't let Watt wreck the game.
So how did a small-town Wisconsin kid become the most unstoppable force in football? And why did his peak burn so bright but end so soon? J.J. Watt was born on March 22nd, 1989 in Waukesha, Wisconsin. More specifically, he grew up in Pewaukee, a small lakeside city just outside Milwaukee, home to roughly 10,000 people and almost no national spotlight.
I grew up 45 minutes from this stadium in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Okay, we don't have that many people in the town, okay, so I know you're lying.
His full name is Justin James Watt, but everyone called him JJ. His parents, John and Connie, were blue-collar workers who instilled a relentless work ethic in their 3 sons. JJ's father was a firefighter. His mother worked in building inspection. They didn't have much money, but they had discipline, and they taught their sons that if you wanted something, you had to earn it. No shortcuts, no excuses. Growing up, JJ played every sport: hockey, basketball, baseball, football, but football was different. On the field, JJ felt unstoppable. He played tight end and defensive end at Pewaukee High School, and by his senior year, he was dominating. As a senior, JJ caught 34 passes for over 600 yards and 8 touchdowns on offense. On defense, he was even better, recording over 70 tackles and 14 sacks. He was named first-team All-State and was one of the top recruits in Wisconsin. But here's the thing, JJ wasn't a 5-star recruit. He wasn't getting calls from Alabama or Ohio State. He had offers from mid-tier programs, but nothing major. So JJ made a decision that would change his life. He committed to Central Michigan University to play tight end. JJ arrived at Central Michigan in 2007 ready to prove himself, but something didn't feel right. He wasn't close to home, the program wasn't what he expected, and deep down, JJ knew he wasn't where he was supposed to be. After just 1 season, JJ made a bold move. He left Central Michigan and returned home to Wisconsin, but he didn't have a scholarship waiting for him. He had to walk on at the University of Wisconsin. That meant no guaranteed playing time, no scholarship money, no recognition. JJ Watt was starting from scratch, and to make ends meet, he delivered pizzas to pay for school. I was delivering pizzas and hoping for a chance to play football.
I made the move to transfer. I talked to Coach Bielema. He said I could walk on in June. So from January until June, I worked at Pizza Hut and went to a local college there in Waukesha.
But JJ didn't complain. He worked, he trained, he studied, and most importantly, he switched positions. Instead of playing tight end, JJ moved to defensive end. And that's when everything changed. As a redshirt freshman in 2009, JJ didn't play much, but in 2010, he exploded. He recorded 44 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and became one of the most disruptive defensive players in the Big Ten. Then in 2011, his final season at Wisconsin, JJ put together a masterpiece. 48 tackles, 7 sacks, and he was named first team All-Big Ten. On the other hand, scouts were taking notice. This walk-on pizza delivery guy was suddenly projected as a first-round NFL draft pick. The 2011 NFL draft was loaded with defensive talent, but when the Houston Texans selected J.J. Watt with the 11th overall pick, they knew they were getting something special.
Texans select J.J. Watt.
I hate it. It's a bad pick. Move down and pick him. Don't waste an 11th pick on him.
There have been disappointed people, and that's fine with me. I've been doubted before, and I have confidence in myself as a football player.
Houston was a team on the rise. They had a young franchise quarterback in Matt Schaub, a dominant running back in Arian Foster, and an elite wide receiver in Andre Johnson. But their defense needed a spark. They needed someone who could take over games. And in J.J. Watt, They found him. As a rookie, JJ started all 16 games and immediately made an impact. He recorded 56 tackles, 5.5 sacks, and showed flashes of brilliance. But he was still learning the NFL game. The speed was faster, the offensive linemen were bigger and stronger, but JJ adapted. He studied film obsessively, he worked out like a maniac, and he developed a motor that never quit. By the end of his rookie season, JJ had proven he belonged. The Texans went 10-6 and made the playoffs for the first time in franchise history, and JJ Watt was just getting started. In 2012, JJ Watt became a monster, and what he did that season might be the greatest defensive performance in NFL history. He recorded 20.5 sacks. That led the entire league, but it wasn't just the sacks. JJ was everywhere. He batted down 16 passes at the line of scrimmage. He forced 4 fumbles. He recovered 2 fumbles. And here's the crazy part. He scored 3 touchdowns. 3 as a defensive lineman, 1 on an interception return, 1 on a fumble recovery, and 1 on offense when the Texans lined him up at tight end in the red zone and he caught a touchdown pass. Offensive coordinators had no answers. They tried double teaming him. He still got to the quarterback. They tried chipping him with running backs. He swatted passes at the line. They tried running away from him. He chased plays down from the backside. JJ Watt was unblockable, and the Texans dominated because of it. They finished 12-4, won the AFC South, and JJ was named NFL Defensive Player of the Year. At just 23 years old, he was the best defensive player in football, but he wasn't done yet. In 2013, JJ Watt was still dominant. He piled up tackles, double-digit sacks, constant disruption at the line, and another first-team All-Pro season. Nobody had ever been this dominant for this long. JJ wasn't just winning with athleticism, he was winning with preparation, technique, and an unmatched work ethic. Teammates marveled at his routine. JJ would arrive at the facility before everyone else and leave after everyone else. He'd watch film for hours, breaking down every offensive lineman's tendencies. He'd study hand placement, footwork, leverage, and when game day came, he already knew what the offensive lineman was going to do before they did it. But JJ's dominance wasn't just about football, it was about mentality. He played every snap like it was his last. He never took a play off, and he brought an intensity that was contagious. Then in 2014, after missing just 1 game in his first 3 seasons, JJ put together another legendary year. 78 tackles, 20.5 sacks, double-digit passes defensed, multiple forced fumbles, and countless broken game plans. 20.5 sacks, the same number he had in 2012. And once again, JJ Watt was named NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 3 awards in 4 years. Only Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald have ever matched that. JJ Watt had reached a level of dominance that few players in NFL history ever touched. He was in the conversation with Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, and Deacon Jones as the greatest defensive player ever. But in 2015, everything changed. Early in the season, JJ suffered a broken hand. He played through it, then later in the year, he broke it again. He kept playing. The pain was excruciating, but JJ refused to quit. He finished the season with 17.5 sacks despite playing injured, but the wear and tear was starting to show. Then in 2016, disaster struck. JJ suffered a back injury in week 3 that required surgery. He was placed on injured reserve and his season was over after just 3 games. In 2017, JJ came back determined to prove he was still elite, and for 5 games he looked like the old JJ, 5 sacks in 5 games. He was back, but then early in the season, JJ suffered a fractured leg. Season over again, 2 straight years, 2 major injuries, 2 lost seasons.
And JJ is now down.
Couldn't have started any worse for the Houston Texans.
JJ rehabbed like a man possessed. He pushed his body to the limit, and in 2018, he returned. He played all 16 games for the first time since 2015. He recorded 16 sacks, multiple forced fumbles, and reminded the league that when healthy, he was still one of the best. But the injuries had taken their toll. JJ was no longer the unblockable force he was from 2012 to 2014. He was still great, but he wasn't the same. After the 2020 season, JJ's time in Houston came to an end. He had spent his entire career with the Texans, but the team was rebuilding and JJ wanted one more shot at a championship. In 2021, at 32 years old, JJ signed with the Arizona Cardinals. He joined a team with Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and a defense that was on the rise. It was his chance to finally win a Super Bowl. JJ played well in Arizona, but injuries continued to haunt him. He played just 7 games in his first season with the Cardinals due to a shoulder injury. And in 2022, after one more season, JJ Watt announced his retirement. He finished his career with 111.5 sacks, over over 24 forced fumbles, 17 fumble recoveries, and 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He was a 5-time first-team All-Pro and one of the most dominant defensive players the game has ever seen. But JJ's legacy goes beyond stats. It's about how he played the game, with passion, intensity, and a work ethic that was unmatched. JJ Watt's peak was short, but it was the highest peak any defensive player has ever reached. From 2012 to 2014, he was unstoppable. Offensive coordinators had to game plan their entire offense around avoiding him. Nobody could block JJ Watt. He won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards in 4 years. Only Lawrence Taylor and Aaron Donald have done that, but JJ did something neither of them did. He scored touchdowns. He batted down passes like a middle linebacker. He dominated in ways we'd never seen. Injuries robbed us of seeing JJ Watt dominate for a full decade, but for that 5-year stretch, he was the most dominant defender the NFL has ever seen, and nobody, absolutely nobody could block him. When he becomes eligible, JJ Watt will almost certainly be a first ballot Pro Football Hall of Famer. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the Football Explained for more breakdowns like this. We'll see you in the next one.
I truly believed that you should have as big of dreams as you want in this world. Never let anybody tell you you can't accomplish those dreams. I once had a teacher who told me that my dream of one day playing in the NFL was unrealistic. Well, hello.